Good evening. So I'm so happy to be here. I've had a good day. I have made a lot of candles. I've even made some new ones with some exciting developments on that. So I will announce those tomorrow and post pictures of the finished product. Right now I've got them all finished and settling, and I usually give it a full 24 hours before I even try to take pictures and all that good stuff. And you guys know I like to make my stuff look cute. Hi, Mom. Good evening. But I'm really excited to announce the new candles I've been working on. Hi. It's good to have you here, Mom. So I think other than getting a lot of my candles made today, getting some stuff done around the house, I had to go by Hot Topic to pick something up, and then I was with my family, and Maddie is like, well, why don't we go by Earthbound? That is one of my favorite stores there. They have a lot of cool rocks and crystals and all that good stuff. So I'll show you guys two of the things I picked up here. So one would be this skull.
Hi, Dingus.
And I've got the lights on in my room.
Mom, Dingus is here.
That's fine, honey. She's not going to bother me.
She's so silly.
So Maddie's down here painting. So every so often you'll hear Maddie, and Noah, she's camera shy, so she doesn't want to say hi on the camera. But see this thing? So all of these like pointy fake crystals on the top of this skull light up and change colors. My boss is allowing me to watch. Well, please thank your boss for allowing you to be on this Go Live, Mom. I know she works you hard. And then I have this reverse incense, little fairy and mushroom type deal going on. I haven't actually used any incense on it yet, but it was only $7. They had it marked down on clearance, so I snagged that. So, and then of course Maddie got some cute keychains, and I got some earrings that were on sale, and it was a really productive trip, I think. And so I'm most proud of my candles, and I can't wait to show those off tomorrow. And I think I'm really going to be ready for this craft fair that's coming up soon. And those are beautiful. Oh, thank you, Mom. You know how that goes. You see something nice, and if you don't get it, instead of buyer's remorse, you have, I don't know what they would call it, regret from not buying it. And then by the time you go back for it, it's gone. So, and I hate that feeling. I hate it eating away at me, thinking I should have gotten it, you know. So tonight, we are going to go ahead and continue our journey through the wands, and I'll briefly touch upon. So last night we talked about the Two of Wands, and again, this was a very ambitious character, a lot of intellect. He already had some accomplishments with relationships, career, finances, was thinking about traveling. So with this card, it was all about the thinking stage. And the energy of this card is he did not know if he was ready to leave the safety of the castle to go out into the world and try something new, do something new. Well, tonight we are delving into the Three of Wands, where the character actually did it. They left the castle. And so with here, so we've got the Two of Wands that are firmly in the ground here. So that stands for like the previous, like the commitments he had already, whether it be romantic relationships, his friendships, work obligations, his financial status. So all these remain present, but however, he's still not looking at us. So that is something it has in common with the Two of Wands, where here he's looking away. He was holding the world in the right hand and thinking. Well, here, this character is very much turned away, and it's looking out toward, say, a body of water. So in this card, and again, everything has intention to it. The ground, the water, everything is predominantly yellow. So with yellow, we're delving into, again, the colors we associate with yellow. Full illumination. He can fully see where he's going. because even with our Two of Wands here, the water was blue in this picture. Well, here, even though you can see boats, and you know that's water that they're on, the artist chose yellow. So full illumination, warmth, clarity, joy, happiness. This person is in a very good place in life, and again, very ambitious. So his robes, so he has like this, I guess, like a scarf, which is yellow, which has the same meanings, assigned to yellow, but he also has predominantly orange. And so with the wands, with this suit, we're going to see a lot of orange used, which means enthusiasm. Okay. This is somebody very excited, enthusiastic, motivated. Even his feet, which will take him where he needs to go, are painted orange. Again, everything is intentional. The wands still have that growth on them, so he's not done growing. So even though back here, he's got two wands firmly in the ground with his accomplishments, he's hanging on to that third one thinking, okay, where does he want to direct his energy, which is his intent, and then put the work in to manifest it into the world, essentially. So this would be like for romantic relationships. So with the Two of Wands, last night he was thinking about it. Well, do I want to get serious with this person, possibly get engaged or married, possibly move in? Well, here he's taking the action. Same thing with career. So he's had all these accomplishments. If anything, the Three of Wands really reflects really sound teamwork. So there's a really good teamwork dynamic. Communication's very good. With finances, there is financial stability. So again, it's being very cautious and thoughtful about how he uses his money, but he's in such a good place. And again, sex is neutral, so it could be he or she. But the overall energy of the card showing that this person is so good money-wise, it's also showing to stop and maybe take a trip and go somewhere fun and just enjoy it. And so again, just like the Two of Wands reflected travel, again, he's holding the world. With this card, we're also still looking at that theme of travel. And then up here, of course, is our Roman numeral for 3. And he's standing on the edge of a cliff. So this individual has had to work very hard to get to where they currently are. This has not been a cakewalk. And yet they still have that fire, because the wands deal with the element of fire. It's all about that passion, excitement, that fiery energy that it cannot be contained. Fire has to expand or else it goes out. That's what I want you guys to think of when you think of wands. So I'm just going to recap a couple of the upright meanings, and we're going to delve into some reversals. So overall, this is known as the card of good fortune. So even when it's in reverse, okay, which again, we'll get to the reversals, it's still like a bleep on the radar. Like, this is a very good, again, predominantly yellow card. It's very similar to, say, the Sun in the major arcana, that even if you get the Sun in reverse, it's still a good card. This still very much has some good energy. Not as strong as, say, that Sun card from the major arcana, but again, predominantly yellow themes to it. So we are seeing good results from projects and relationships because they're thriving. So what I want you to think of is, here's you. I don't want to stick up the wrong finger and be inappropriate. I'm not trying to be. So here's you. Here's somebody else you work with. And then by the time we get to 3, we've got a product. So the 2 people work together to make something. So this could be a marriage. It could be a baby. It could be some new development at work. It could be a project that your team is succeeding at. You are seen as a leader, very motivated and knowledgeable, very passionate about your job. With finances, again, it's taking the action to continue to make progression and investing it, whether it be in savings or the stock market. This is, again, a very influential person. a very busy time. So this person's been very busy. Energy is manifested. So I mentioned how that intent, so basically what he prayed for, he put the work in to make it manifest in his life, essentially. Again, I mentioned group projects. This is very reflective with this card. And I love the way that Rachel Pollack worded it in her book. Something has come from the fire and has been born. So this could be quite literally or figuratively giving birth to something. It's the product. It's the transition. We're talking alchemy, combining two different things to make one final product. Gaining momentum and confidence, expansion, growth, and looking ahead. Let's see here. So for love, we're looking at romantic momentum, creating a lasting foundation in a relationship. So even if somebody's not jumping and getting engaged and married, they're looking at doing the things that they need to do to preserve that relationship and keep it in a good place. With career, it's new horizons, expanding career options. Again, this is a very passionate individual. They're not okay with just settling and being lazy. This is a very ambitious, fire-driven person. Finances, expanding financial knowledge, views, and goals. Again, enjoying the profits, taking a trip. Just because they can afford it. Now, let's say if it's in reversed. Now, I generally tell you guys, if one of these cards are in reverse, it's generally speaking, it's the reverse of the meanings from when it's upright. So with reversals, we're looking at delayed plans. So here, the plans are working out. Again, we're making good progression. When it's in reverse, it's not a good plan. We're not making the progression that we need to, and so it needs to be reassessed and reevaluated. There's obstacles in the way of progression. Again, a lack of progression. There could be competition in a group setting. So again, if you're talking about like work or group projects, if it's upright, it means that people are working together. Okay. However, if it's in reverse, then no, they're not working together and there's competition. And it's frustrating. There's a lot of frustration with a reversal with this card. Again, our ideal outcome is not achieved. There's a need to plan for the future. So it really reflects that somebody needs to do a better job with planning. There's frustrations or obstacles with love. So it could show that there's not enough give and take with a relationship and not enough compromise. So that needs to be looked at. It could be somebody feeling caged from their career. The passion, that spark is gone. They really don't like where they are. They don't feel like there's room to climb a career ladder and to grow. They feel very like they're in a stagnant place, which is not a good feeling. And there's delays in obtaining financial goals. Now, as far as the symbols, I'm going to double check. Make sure I reviewed everything. So we have the 2 wands that are in the ground behind the man, which again reflects his commitments, his or her, of course. So he's got 1 wand in his hand, which stands for introspection, for continued growth, or it's the outcome from the 2 wands. So we talked about alchemy, 2 products or 2 people working together to come up with a product, right? But again, this is also him planning on how to expand and move forward. And again, he's very introspective. He's looking away from us, very much in his own head. And if you look at his stance, he is standing strong. This is a formidable person. They have the foresight and vision. They're willing to do the work to get what they want in life. They know it's not just given away. You got to do the legwork on it. So that covers everything that I wrote down that I want to cover with this card. And now we're going to delve a bit into the other cards here. So, of course, I want you to like keep an eye out for similar colors, symbols between the Rider-Waite-Smith, which is what I just showed you, in comparison to the other cards I'm about to show. So here we've got a young lady, and she's got her surfboard, so it looks like she's about to take the leap off the edge of this, like, it's like a grassy bank, or it could be a cliff. And so she's got a total of 3 wands. So it would appear that she's not hanging on to any of the wands. Okay, but however, we still have that theme of introspection. And if you look at her feet, she's got one foot bent at an angle and the other one straight, meaning that she's taken action to make that progression. We're not doing like the Two of Wands where it was more of not acting, and it was like, oh, should we take the leap or not? Should I leave the castle or not to take a risk? Instead, with this card's all about progression, action, momentum. So she's going to do it. Like, yes, those wands stand for her accomplishments and she's in a good place, but she's just not satisfied with just being stagnant and not doing anything. She's going to really hop over this embankment, go into that water, and then see where it takes her. And I like how the sky, how we have that predominant, there's this area of like bright white light. So when you think of white, you think of like purity, cleanliness, potential. This is like source. So whatever your faith is with your religion, this is like clinging onto your faith. And the night sky, which is scattered with a blanket of stars, is purple. So with purple, we're talking divination. We're talking about the divine. So even though we'll try our best on earth to do the best we can by ourselves and others in our lives, life happens. And then we have some of those tower moments like we learned in previous tarot teaching moments where you better buckle up and get ready because the tower's coming down, because if towers cool down when the foundation's inadequate, there's cracks in it, but then you build right back up with the bricks that are left over. So with this, again, she's going to take that leap and see where it goes, So I love just the artist and how they did the colors with this. And even the ground, if you look at the ground, there's an orange coloration there. So, and it's very similar to the orange that was used to color the flames in that card. Again, we're dealing with wand energy, very fiery. Okay, so the next one, and hi Tim, I see you're on here. Here we see a man, and he's got his 3 wands, and he's holding them. And it looks like he is about to go onto a boat of sorts. So it's like one of those things when you look at this card, it would appear that the boat is actually leaving him. Like it's kind of hard to say. It depends on how it's angled. It can be interpreted 2 different ways. It could be coming inland toward us, or it could be leaving. But by the direction of the waves, which is aft of this boat or ship, it would appear that it's leaving and he's not on it. So with this card, and I have to say, it doesn't fully resonate with me. And I know you don't have to travel with the 3 of Wands, even though that is still a theme. But if you look, just look at what I'm looking at and pay attention to the curvature of the water that's aft of the boat. You would think if it was coming in, the water would be drawn a lot differently with that card, but it's not. It looks like it's leaving and he's not on it. So it could be, with us looking at this card, what I see is he's thinking, man, I've got it made. I don't want to tempt the fates. I'm not getting on this ship. I'm just going to head back to the castle and chill out. So, it goes against what we're looking at. Even with our young lady who's the little surfer girl who's taken the leap, she's going to do it. Okay? Just like this guy. which here he's just watching the boats go by. But again, the thinking portion of this suit was back with the 2 of Wands, was the thinking. Well, 3 means you need to get off the pot and take some action. So, I don't really care for this. I really don't. I mean, the themes are there. I get it. We got the guy. We got the wands. We got the boat. But it's like, I don't know. It's like it's still that same theme. He's looking away from us. He's looking out toward the ocean. So still very much in his head, but he's still he's not taking the action here. Which I guess, maybe I'm being maybe I'm being too critical, because this guy is not on a boat either. Both of them are, they've got their backs turned to us and they're thinking. So I guess it's not all in all too bad of a card. It's just me being too critical. So I could still see some insight with this. So I don't hate the card or anything. This one, we've got the 3 of Wands, and we've got our little crow friend, and it looks like it's a windy day, very blustery. We got some predominant blue themes. In the back here, we have mountains. So we know there's obstacles coming, because that's what mountains stand for in tarot's, obstacles. We have the star, which reminds me of the star card, which is from the major arcana. There's hope. So no matter where the journey takes our little friend here, he stays focused on the end objective, what he's hoping to accomplish, and hope, right? And so even though he's got plenty of good perches to get across from one side of the cliff to the other, he wants to go ahead and make a third one, because why not? He can, right? And he's ambitious, and he's got that fiery energy, which cannot be contained. And then below here, it's like we've got like a lot of orange and brown type hues. And again, I like that it's a mountainous region. So even where his little perches are stretching across, these are mountainous regions. So this is not a chill time. This is a very critical moment of taking action, making that momentum and progression, and just really focusing that fiery energy into, say, the intent to make it manifest. And then again, I like it. I like all those little colors in play down here. But again, you see a lot of orange with the wands. And then, I wrap it up with the card that's not based in Rider-Waite-Smith, because it's just a good example of why it's so important to get a card that's based in that. Other than these wands, which are spears, I don't see any of that energy with this. If anything, this looks like a card of conflict to me. This does not have the same feel at all, like the other cards. So yeah, even though this is a wand and this is the number 3, again, it just illustrates the importance. And if you choose to use a non-conventional deck that's not based on Rider-Waite-Smith, at least get you the deck that's based on Rider-Waite-Smith, or a book with the pictures from Rider-Waite-Smith. So you could take your non-conventional deck and put it right beside the Rider-Waite-Smith, and you still learn the important symbols and the meaning of the card, and you can look at the artist's meaning for the non-conventional deck. But would I recommend a non-conventional deck to a beginner that's new to tarot? And you will get a big resounding no from me. There's too many decks out there based on Rider-Waite-Smith that would be better for somebody learning tarot versus one of these non-conventional ones that are going to get them frustrated and confused and just feeling so lost. So, you guys know I hold them all up at the very end here, just so that you can intuitively look at them and see what they have in common and how they make you feel, what the common symbols that you're seeing in each card are. Let's see. Yeah, I don't hate that card. Again, I think I'm a little overly critical for being just over analytical, And then here's this one. Yeah. And I think that wraps us up for this one. And then let's see here. So tomorrow we'll go over the Four of Wands at 8 p.m. And I'll go ahead and I'll draw us an oracle card and I'll post that in the afternoon. And of course, I will post pictures of my exciting new candles. I will debut them tomorrow. So look out for that in our group. And I think most of you have joined myself in honor for the book club that we will be starting this Saturday, which will be at 8 p.m. on Saturday evening. So I get that we've already been through a lot of cards, but what our plan is, after she and I talked about it, is we're going to go by this book, which provides a different way of looking at all of these cards. And so I've got it from I'll do the first one, say from 8 to 8:30, where I'll review what that author says about, say, the Fool. And it talks about how you have real life application. I actually got the book today and I actually looked at it. It's really good and it puts things in understandable terms. That way we continue to build on our tarot knowledge, and we're also wanting to build up our community and increase our interaction. I am tickled pink. I am so immensely proud that I have people in our group that are stepping up because they love tarot and they want to do a reading for our group. And I'm so excited for their energy. So Honor's doing it on Sunday evening. And then Sharon, she's going to do it on the 19th. And so I would love it if people want to keep stepping up to do a Sunday reading for the group, or if there's a different type of spread. I would just say check in with me first to make sure I'm aware and that there's no scheduling conflicts, so that we don't have 2 people on at the same time trying to present. I don't want that to happen. Everybody in the group has value, and I value your input and just your presence. I am so grateful for you, and thank you for being on this journey with me. And Mom, I love you because you brought me into the world and you continue to be there for me. And Tim, I love you because you're my husband and I can ask for a better husband. So I will see you guys tomorrow, though. I hope you have a good evening and get you some rest. Bye.
Oh man, was that the